not tears of joy. This is tears of pain. 2 hours of Wrestle House. Not little segments in a regular show. 2 hours of Wrestle House. I thought, okay, this is going to be something interesting. They're going to do a little bit of Wrestle House within the normal episode. Nope. I thought 30 minutes in, oh, they're going to start showing regular wrestling. You're going to see Josh Matthews with D'Lo Brown, not Matt Striker. No. You think we're going to be seeing Moose? No. You think we're going to be seeing the Jonah? No. We see none of that. Oh, yes. I'm reviewing this. If anybody thinks I'm joking around like this, I'm just doing a little bit of something for you. No. You're getting a fucking review out of this, motherfuckers. You're getting a review out of my ass. If I have to suffer through 2 hours of watching Wrestle you're gonna see this review and you're gonna have to suffer through it with me. Okay. Am I gonna be serious for a moment? Yes, I am. Guys, I got to say this, my feelings throughout this, before I even start trying to explain this show. This episode. The swinger episode with a question mark and a laughing on it. Ha ha ha. Because I had to do that. There's no other title that makes sense. That is the swinger episode with a question mark on it and laughing after that. Not laughing 100% of total joy, but what the fuck did I just see? Was this great television? Was this desperation? Was this simply just to have fun? Or was this simply the writing team lost their freaking minds, took basically they got messed up fucking somebody and they got an STD and it made their brains rot out and they wrote this show. That is the best way to say it with a fucking laugh. Because I can't tell you you're going to like this. Guys, I know there's some of my subscribers that love Johnny Swinger, that he's funny. And I know Johnny Swinger is funny at certain points. But this was 100% a Johnny Swinger show. Yes, the ending of the show, if you watched it, when it came to Johnny Bravo and Swinger at number 1, it ends with them. Yes, it does. But this wasn't about that. Guys, it wasn't about them. This was that Impact Wrestling decided in their... heard an explosion outside. Someone's firing fireworks. In their wisdom, decided to give Johnny Swinger an entire episode of himself. Yes, he didn't end it in his own joy. He was happy at the end of it. But it's all about... I can't believe I'm saying it. To spotlight Johnny Swinger's comedic ability and everybody else. Let me start. If you saw last episode of, and I'm sure I'm going to miss something, so you're going to have to watch the show if I miss something. Because I know I'm going to miss something. I'm going to laugh my ass off because it's ridiculously crazy and stupid, and it drove me insane. And I will explain my insanity in a moment. And you aren't going to listen to my insanity. I sound like I'm drunk when I'm not. I don't even drink. Okay, this is how it starts. Last week, we got a good group of people going into Wrestle House 2. You had Bo Swing at 1 and 2. You got Hernandez. You had Caleb, as well as... I kind of wish, if Tennille Dashwood isn't hurt, I kind of wish he had been there instead of just Madison Rayne. Because the way it was going, they should have brought Josh Matthews in on it. Because her acting the way she did, it sounded like Josh Matthews should have been involved in it. I'm sorry, he should have been there. I'm not saying he would have been adding anything or subtracting. But the way she was acting, saying she wanted to go home to her family, you should have had John, no. You should have had Josh Matthews there. I'm just saying. But they end up in Wrestle House 2, which was basically a Larry D's home, or Leonard was spotlighted. I'm not saying he's coming back to Impact Wrestling, but they show him. Supposedly that's his home. And the deal was, because if you saw last week, Johnny Bravo made a deal with Rosemary, because Rosemary saw how upset Johnny was, that he wanted to make Swinger happy because Swinger was miserable because of the demon. So she said, if you want this, the deal is I'll give you something that you want for him. I will give you back Wrestle House to make Johnny Swinger happy. The price will be your virgin blood. I still want that virgin blood. That's her price. So they go over to Larry D or Leonard D's home, and they start going through the motions of Wrestle House. And we had several matches on Wrestle House, which I'll talk about in a minute if I don't forget them. At this point, it was like about 8 to 10 minutes in, and I expected that Impact Wrestling was going to switch away, that they're going to switch back into the ring. Maybe they'll show a little bit of Moose. They'll show a little bit of what's going on with Jonah. Maybe they will do something else with it. Maybe they'll bring in someone else. Maybe they'll expand on VSK. No, it continues. It continues from here. And eventually we get our first match, because this is where it gets interesting. I probably might not put pictures in here. No, actually, if I'm going to be a real reviewer, I'm going to have to put pictures in here. You see Chris Sabin in my face. I believe I got one shot of him with the smoke, with his chest showing, glistening. And you see the Rosemary as well as the Havoc getting horny out of their minds, looking at a Chris Sabin in slow motion. And Caleb with a K noticed, and he thought he was being trolled by it. And you see Swinger at number 2, kind of wanting to be with Chris, but then he already told her, no, my wife, my mistress is wrestling. And she kind of has a little something with Caleb. And then they both clash. And then you hear the Chris Sabin wanting to start a fight, wanting to do it's wrestle time. Nope, can't use it. It's time to rumble. Nope, can't use it. The name they use now, the catchphrase, and I had to write it down here. Here's the catchphrase. I love this match. I'll say it again. I love this match. Really? The lamest catchphrase they can come up with on purpose to give you something. And you get Caleb and Sabin having a match where I knew Caleb was going to get his ass handed to him. He just did. And you see the glistening skin of Chris Sabin doing a powerbomb on Caleb with a K in slow motion. There you go. The second match is another part of Wrestle House, and they're trying to figure out how to get Swinger to be happy. And guess what? They decide to show Throwback Thursday and the, what is it called again? The IPWF. From last time they did it, which was in 2019. I believe it was 2019 when they last did it. Or was it 2020? I can't remember when they did it. Either 19 or 20 they did the Throwback Thursday. And when they did, they showed a little bit of downtown Dada Brown, which was basically Willie Mack. And they're saying that the Johnny Swinger used to know the Willie Mack, a.k.a. downtown Daddy Brown. And they decided to bring downtown Daddy Brown there. And you see basically they're facing each other in my face. And downtown Daddy Brown wanted to break the face of a Johnny Swinger because he messed with his daughter, who was at the time just barely legal when he went and had some fun with his daughter. So he said, okay, you want to face me in the ring? Come on. You haven't wrestled in decades. And he said, I'll come out of retirement for your ass. He said, fine. But then he said, let's get it done. And Sabin's about to say, I love this match. And he's stopped by downtown Daddy Brown because he's an old ass man walking with a cane. And he says, it's time for my sleep, baby. Tomorrow I'll do it. And then they do the damn match, which you see the comedic attitude of a Willie Mack walking around trying to do the moves he does with a messed up hip. And as a guy who has a messed up hip, this kind of struck a little bit of a nerve that this bastard is faking having a messed up hip when I got a messed up hip. And in the end, not only does he beat the Johnny Swinger, and he pins him. And the reason I said that twice is because he forgot that he has a messed up hip, and then he's crawling on the floor saying, "Oh, damn, my hip. Oh, damn, my hip, I can't move. I can't feel my hip." These are tears of anger and pain. After almost an hour, I'm going like, what the fuck am I going through? I hate my job. This is my... Look, I don't make a damn penny off of Google or YouTube. I make nothing. I get disability checks, motherfuckers. But still, even though I get nothing, I take this seriously, guys. I am a professional here, and that is from OTRS Central with the Slick Daddy. God damn it, we're professionals here. Oh, some people can look at this video and they're gonna think I've been drinking my fucking ass off. I'm lying about it, and I've been drinking some damn Jack Daniels, and I don't drink. Ugh. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next match, where they try to get a Johnny Swinger jealous so he'll be interested in Swingerette number 1. So that's when Rosemary, and I believe I got a shot of it, is in my damn face. She knocks on the door, and guess who comes out? Not Larry. Leonard D. comes out in slow motion, showing off, and he gets very attached. So Swingerette number 1, when he's only supposed to fake being attached to Swingerette number 1, trying to get a Johnny Swinger angry. It didn't work at first, because when Johnny Swinger saw Larry, he belched his ass off while he had been drinking beer. So that went out the window. Then it's Crazy Steve who came up with an idea. Hey, let's use, what is his name? Glenn Simmons, to try and convince a Johnny Swinger to enjoy himself and have fun and to be interested in the Swingerette number 2. So locker room talk is done with Swinger upset, looking like from Miami Vice most of the show. And when they showed Eddie Edwards coming in, because I will get to that one in a minute, once they show, and I know I'm out of order here. I am kind of out of order, but I'm doing it on purpose because there's no point in doing it. He convinces a Johnny Swinger to be interested in a Swingerette number 2. That is the Demon, faking as Glenn Simmons, part of Kiss. I actually never heard much of Kiss music. I was never a big rock fan. I'm a disco and dance fan, and mostly, well, let me give you like this. Growing up, and I still am, I still care about disco music to a certain extent, not because it's from the 80s, because I like European disco music, because American disco music sucks. Funk, house from Europe sounds great along with trance. American stuff, kind of shitty. That's what I grew up with. I didn't really listen to a lot of rock. So when it comes to Glenn, I'm mispronouncing guys named Simmons, I never heard that much Kiss music. But Johnny Swinger did. And now before we go on to the match between him and Larry D, you also have Eddie Edwards getting involved in this, because Alicia, and if you watch this, you hear that Alicia was like this. Her throat was messed up. Legitimately. Look, I've heard Alicia talk. She doesn't have one of the most beautiful voices, but it sounds rancy and kind of messed up, like she had a sore throat when she did Wrestle House. She may have not had the virus, but she sure had some sore throat. Like someone went and whacked her right here. She sounded like she needed a damn lozenges. And she said, look, at one point before the Swinger talked to Demon, and I know I'm going out of order, and I will get back in order in a minute. You're going to have to deal with this. You are going to suffer through this. You are suffering with this. You're going to, if you watch this, you're going to suffer through this with me because that's what I had to do. And anyway, she at one point, along with everybody else, wanted out. So Rosemary said, until Swinger is done, we can't leave. But Madison pretty much said, you can get us out of here anytime. And Rosemary said, you have to deal with my daddy. He said, let's make a new deal, and made a line with a piece of tape saying, look, come on my side, let's try and figure a way to get a deal done. And the only way they were going to get anything done was with a match. And Eddie had to be called in because Alicia wanted her husband there, and they needed an extra person to make a fair 5-on-5 mixed match. Eddie gets come in with, they sang his music, which sounded terrible. And at one point, they finally had the match, which is in my face. It was a standard 10 mixed tag. It wasn't about it being great or substantial. And I got to say this, throughout the matches, you had the doctor who usually works for Impact. You had the Father Mitchell. And I think Sin Colbin, I can't remember his name. He was there. They're also my face. And their commentary was hilarious. It wasn't perfect. It was hilariously bad at points, hilariously funny at others. And that's what you get. It's either it was funny, haha, or funny that what the fuck am I listening to? These guys, are they drinking? Are they snorting something? Did the doctor actually take his own methadone or something like that? Whatever we saw there, this was like, whatever. It's like someone went and sniffed some nasty shit from those three. In the end, the ones who wanted to leave were versus the ones who didn't want to leave for Swinger. The ones who didn't want to leave won. And then we get to the point where I did first, which is Johnny Swinger facing not Larry, but a Leonard. I keep saying Larry instead of Leonard because I got so scrambled in my brain, I lost my damn mind. And you got Leonard D versus a Johnny Swinger. And at one point, Leonard D sprays Johnny in the face. He's about to get pinned. And it's Bravo who clearly realized what was going on. And with a huge amount of powder in Leonard's face, Johnny wins. And he asks Swingerette number two, will you marry me? It's in my face. He now asks Swingerette to marry him. Really? Now, let's move on. What do we get next? We get two more matches. We got one more match because we get Hernandez having a match. And Eddie didn't get a match, but both of them got their memories wiped. Well, yeah, pretty much. But let me explain about Hernandez. As they're getting ready for the marriage, as they're getting ready for Father Mitchell to come to perform the marriage, Swinger says, hey, will you be my best man? To Hernandez, he says, fine, I'll do it. But as they're getting ready, you get Hernandez going past the Kane. He knew there was something going on. There was something fishy between Bravo and Rosemary. After all that madness of Rosemary wanting to kill him in the first place. And guess what? He finds out the deal is, as I said in the very beginning, Rosemary, and she had been trying to keep this quiet all this time, tried to make sure that no one knew. And it was bad enough that Swinger did find out that the reason everybody was here to try and make him happy and he couldn't stand it and he didn't want to go anywhere because he didn't care. This secret got out and Hernandez said, I'm going to tell everybody. I knew it was something fishy. You're going to kill him to get his virgin blood. No, I'm telling everybody. And then they transport him to the ring where he had to face Black Taurus, which tore his damn pants, which I believe I got a shot of it. It's in my damn face. Are you serious? I heard a... I'm going, what the fuck? And then I said, oh my gosh, I got to click. I clicked it. I'm sure I got that shot, even if it's a little distorted because sometimes my screen capture doesn't capture something. I'm going like, really? And then Hernandez gets his mind wiped. But later, Eddie finds out what's going on. He overhears just like Hernandez, and he says he's going to tell everybody, and he gets his mind wiped Just like Hernandez thought that he was almost 15 years into the past, still dealing with the 3D and the Latin American exchange. You got Eddie in the last wedding that he was completely drunk out of his mind and screwed up, and he's acting like that again. Ugh. Breed. We're near the end. Breed. Now here's the end. We finally have the segment. The segment that you're waiting for. The segment to see the marriage between Johnny Swinger and Swingette #1, whose name is Broomhilda. Broomhilda. Let that sink in. Broomhilda. Look, the actual person who's playing Swingette #1, she's cute. She got a lot of tats. But when I think of a Broomhilda, I think of a Broomhilda that has the head, the shoulders. Whoop! Whoop! I'm sorry. You hear Broomhilda when it comes to Vikings. Viking women are thick. Boom. She's not thick. She's cute. But she ain't thick on the ass, thick on the tits. No. We get a Broomhilda who's a bit compact. Wearing extremely high heels. That girl is not very tall. That girl is not tall at all. And she's wearing some really high heels to make herself look at least high enough to be tall-ish. I'm not taking anything away from her. I don't think she's a bad woman. I don't think she acts bad. But I'm just saying, Broomhilda, I want a Broomhilda. A Viking Broomhilda. That's, I mean, who wouldn't? But in the end, right before it happens, you get Eddie coming out because Father Mitchell does show up, and the little saying from the Johnny Swinger acting stupid, talking about how many women he has, is Johnny Swinger. And I'm sure there's going to be some of my subscribers that's loving this moment. And there's subscribers are saying, what the fuck am I watching? I'm turning this shit off. But I want to see what's going on because I'm wondering if anyone's going to review it. And me being a stupid fuck is reviewing this. But let's move on. He talks about that. And then Broomhilda, Swingerette #1, not saying her name yet, says, I made a lot of mistakes, but I have to tell you something. There's something I got to tell you if we're about to get married. And then you see Johnny Bravo getting a little... But then Eddie comes out to try and say there's something going on. He stopped. He hits Swinger in the... No, not Swinger. He hits Bravo in the face. He falls down. And Rosemary doesn't want to lose her virgin blood. So... you get Eddie getting picked up. Alicia wants to hear what's being said. And pretty much he finds out a way to say enough to remind the Hernandez what's going on, who's dressed as the turkey, like the oh, I forgot the name of it, the turkey suit guy in Impact Wrestling. So the Impact version of the gobbledygooker of WWE, you know what I mean. But pretty much, I'm just saying, he remembers. He tells him to stop. And then he admits, Johnny Bravo, that he's doing this for Swinger so he can have what he wants. But then you would think Johnny Bravo doing this as a friend of Swinger. Swinger would say, no, we're done. I'm not doing this. He says, oh, thank you, Daddy. Thanks for taking a bullet for me. Yeah! And now he's going to marry Swingerette #1, who doesn't want to do it now because Bravo's going to be killed, and Swinger pretty much doesn't care. But then it stopped. She's not doing it, and he's not doing it, and he walks off. But then, where it gets very interesting, you think that now he's going to be screwed over. Bravo says 100% to Rosemary, technically speaking, because she thought she was still going to get that virgin blood. She wasn't getting the blood. She wants the blood. And he says, you're not going to get anything from me, honey. It's not going to happen. Not in full words, but he says, you're not going to get anything. I'm getting something I want because this is my friend, and you're not going to get anything because the deal is already broken because I'm not a virgin anymore. And he says simply, or she says simply to Johnny Swinger that she slept with Johnny Bravo. And Johnny Bravo agrees with it. So the contract is null and void. It doesn't work, at least in that respect. But Johnny Swinger, they're still trapped there. And then going all around the rosy, eventually Johnny Bravo goes to Broomhilda, who says her name by then. I want to be with you. I made mistakes. You made mistakes. We both made mistakes. And we've both been miserable. Let's come together and see if we can make something out of both of our mistakes and both of our misery to be happy. And then they get married. They eat Thanksgiving dinner. Because remember, if you didn't see this show over a 2-hour period, and I got to make this very clear, over a 2-hour period is supposed to be over a 7-day period in Wrestle House. 7 days were clicked off up until Thanksgiving. And Rosemary, Havoc, as well as Sabin had to go to Turning Point, which they did and came right back. And at the end of it all, next to Rosemary being nice, next to several people, including Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards, going to the confession area to, you see him in face, you see Alicia basically having Kenneth, I forgot the name of the candlestick, the female version, because it was pink. She said, I want you to make up for what you said earlier. I think it's Porco's or Porky's, because of downtown Daddy Brown going to either Purgatory or Porkins or Porky's, if it's kind of that old 80s movie. Porky's. If you've never seen Porky's, go see Porky's. That is a dirty movie. On a related note, Porky's is one of the most funniest comedies where you hear a woman in a high school getting screwed and screaming her head off and sounding like she's a pig getting slaughtered. You got to watch it. I'm just saying. But pretty much, they start making out. You can see the first scene in my face, and then you can see Alicia jumping on Eddie, getting ready to do the business. And at the end, we get Santa Claus, who is Willie Mack, showing up. That's also my face. This show was what? Was it meth they were taking? SLD, or whatever it's called. Was it crystal meth? Was it crank? Was it heroin? Was it whatever? Somebody drank like 10 shots of Jack Daniels and was on the let me paint you a picture. They were thinking about this several weeks at a time. Several people, including Don Callis, Scott D'Amore, whoever you think of, anybody sitting there with maybe some people from AEW, you never know, some friends there. Tony Khan might have been talking maybe on speaker or on Skype or on whatever they're using, and they're throwing things around for the holiday special, and they're not sure what to do. And maybe Tony gave an idea or whoever, and they said, you know what? Let's think about this. Let's take a couple of shots. You know, that sounds great. Why the fuck did I put myself through this? I guess for you guys. This is for you. A Thanksgiving special video review. I don't know if you like this show. You could have said, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. You could say this is the most brilliant shit I've ever seen. You could say it's somewhere in between. But at least Impact gave us something on a day that we should get wrestling. WWE would not even come close to this. Neither would AEW or NWA. This is totally different. Now, mind you, you never know. It may give them ratings they have not seen in who knows how long. You never know. On Access TV, it's very fickle. It may go up or and may go even worse down than it was before. I don't know if this is good, bad, or freaking ugly. I just know this is it. And this is my review of Impact, November 25th, 2021. Please give me a comment below. Give me a like. Share the damn video. Hopefully more people will look at me and maybe I might actually get paid a penny, which I'm not getting paid shit. Peace.